All right, you just walked off, did your panel, Edward James Olmos, legendary actor. You're in my favorite movie of all time, and it's cool because you kind of almost have like the Gaff look today.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I am
Gaff.
I have you tattooed on my body, and I'm going to show it to you.
Here.
I have an entire Blade Runner piece.
Get out of here.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not. It's the character, not you.
Okay.
It really is, to me, one of the greatest films ever made. And what I love about it is that it found its audience when it needed to, and now it's being heralded as a masterpiece. How did you feel when the movie first came out and the response was kind of people just didn't get it?
There was one understanding that I talked to Ridley about right after the movie came out, and I loved the film.
Yeah.
And I loved the extensions of the second version, the third version, the fourth version. By the fifth version, I love the fifth version. It's my favorite version.
Sure.
But when it came out, I went to see the film, and I saw it in New York.
Yeah.
At a very big 1,000-seat theater, and it was jam-packed. It was in the early afternoon. And so I'm sitting there, and I'm watching the performance, and all of a sudden I looked around, and I saw that there was a lot of young people, teenagers and stuff, but they weren't really looking at the screen. And the reason being is that you have to remember Harrison had done the first Star Wars.
Yep.
Then he had done the first Raiders.
Yep.
Then he did the
Empire. Yeah.
And those are the three largest films ever made in the history of film to that point. And they were all swashbuckling, kick-ass and wonderful. And in Blade Runner, he was constantly getting annihilated by men and women.
Yeah.
He was constantly getting beat up.
Yeah, it was so different for him.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I turned to Ridley and I said to him, Ridley, I think the one mistake we made, in this film, because it was it's stunning that I think we made like $4 million when it came out in the United States.
Yeah.
It went away right away.
Yeah.
I mean, bombed, and but I turned and said, I think we should have used Jeff Bridges as Decker.
Really?
It would have been much more accepted and much more believable in respects of, because they didn't want their hero to be treated that way.
Right.
And I understood it.
Yeah.
I understood it right away. And he kind of, at that moment he was like so thrown back by the whole situation. When they went to Europe, though, it went right through the roof.
Yeah.
England and Europe loved the film.
Yeah.
They made it a hit.
Yeah.
They made millions of dollars for them overseas. And then it came back.
Yeah.
And when it came back here, it went right through the roof. And now it's iconic.
It's iconic. And I spoke to Denis right after he did 2049.
Sure.
And again, misunderstood. Took about 5 years for people to go, that was actually pretty good. So it's incredible, that universe that you guys created. And I'm just really happy I get to ask you a couple of questions about that, because I know a lot of people know you for so many things, but for me, it's going to always be my favorite movie of all time. And your character is just,
it was
iconic.
really an experience, and I was very grateful. I will say one thing. Ridley Scott is one of the most secure directors I've ever worked with in my life. Secure meaning that when I would come up with ideas, he would use them.
Right.
And allow them to be. And, it was such an amazing experience to see how secure he was. And because I created the language, I created the character, I created the way I looked, I created, the whole Asian influence.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable in that respect. And he loved it. And he really appreciated the year 2019.
And we're all FaceTiming now, you guys were then, and we're all moving our pictures around like Deckard was with our iPhone. So it's
exactly right.
Thanks for taking a couple of minutes to
You're
chat.
welcome.
You're going to be here all weekend at Ottawa Comiccon.
Yes.
Come, just today and tomorrow. So tomorrow's your last chance. Make sure you come check out Edward James Olmos at Ottawa Comiccon.
See you there.
Jesus Christ.